Michael Wolff's book, Fire and Fury, includes a portion that was recently tweeted about by Katie Torr on MSNBC. It had to do with how far Donald Trump was willing to go to bed his friends' wives. And he actually used, according to Michael Wolff's account, his secretary in order to make these sexual rendezvous come to fruition. So according to the book, Trump liked to say that one of the things that made life worth living was getting your friends' wives into bed.
Let's just pause there to just soak in what a terrible human being he is. I mean, a lot of his defenders will go, I mean, he's just a bro, man. He's just doing locker room talk. No, it's not just talk. And if you knew him, he'd try to sleep with your wife. And if you're into that, okay, I know there's a word for that.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's a legitimate fetish. Like some guys like to be cucks. Like that's really what they want to do.
Yeah.
And do you, boo? Do you, boo?
And I remember when he pulled the guy on stage once during the campaign, and then he said, "Oh, your wife is hot. Maybe she'd prefer." And he was dressed like Donald Trump, the fan was, and he's like, maybe she'd like the real deal instead. And so, but look, he was your fan. So, and I know that some of the MAGA guys are like, yeah, he's a real guy. Okay, but if he was your friend, he would also try to sleep with your wife. And now, if you think that's no big deal, first of all, you're a weird person.
Right.
Right? I mean, isn't that the biggest bro rule there is, that don't mess with each other's girlfriends and wives?
I don't think we know any of the bro rules, to be fair.
I
don't
know.
think I want to know the bro rules. But here's the thing, okay? It's one thing if Trump was like this suave, sexy, cool guy, and then wives ended up cheating on their husbands because they were so attracted to Trump. But that's not what was happening. He was a conniving, sneaky, terrible little shit that did horrible things in order to, convince the wives to sleep with him. So let me give you the details on that, okay? So in pursuing a friend's wife, he would try to persuade the wife that her husband was perhaps not what she thought. Then he'd have his secretary ask the friend into his office. Once the friend arrived, Trump would engage in what was for him more or less constant sexual banter. So for example, he would say to the husband in the room, okay, you must have had a better expletive than your wife. Tell me about it. I have girls coming in from Los Angeles at 3 o'clock. We can go upstairs and have a great time, I promise. By the way, all the while, Trump would have his friend's wife on the speakerphone listening in on their conversation.
Oh, he's such a bad guy. Wow. Can you imagine if someone in your personal life did that? I mean, if a coworker did that to you, how much would you hate them? But if it turned out it was one of your best friends who tried to ambush you like that, so not only so that your wife would hate you and divorce you, but so that he could have sex with your wife. I mean, that is on a scale 1 to 10 of bad, that's an 11, that's 110. Wow.
I feel like a lot of his behavior it stems from insecurity, right? And look, everything that he says, everything that he does reeks of insecurity. It's about proving that he can get the women, proving that he is attractive, proving that he has, a decent sized, area down there, button, exactly. Like everything he does stems from insecurity. Like he is the ultimate example of daddy issues, right? Because his dad was constantly disappointed in him. And I know that that's tough on men. That's tough on people in general, right? And I feel like his entire life has been about proving to everyone that he's great, that he's smart, that he's attractive, that he's rich, that he's this, that he's that. And trying to sleep with the wives, for me, like I don't think that he's like some crazed sex maniac. I think it was about proving to himself that he can get the wives to cheat on their husbands and sleep with him.
I just look, of all the revelations in the book and all the things we've covered in all these years, are there things that are worse for the country? Of course, right? There's policies that he's done that are despicable, gutting the environment, being against all those different racial groups, the genders. Then there's the perhaps working with Putin, which is find out more about in this book. But in terms of who he is, his moral character, whether you're in the left wing, the right wing, or the middle, it doesn't matter. And you look at that story, and it just doesn't get any worse than that. Right? If you see that story and you still think he's a good guy, there's something really, really wrong with you. If you like this video, bless your heart. We got a lot more where that came from. We do a full show every day, Monday through Friday. Come enjoy it ad-free by becoming a member, tytnetwork.com/join.